The Mughal system of government. This podcast is about the grand rationale and the moving dynamics of the Mughal system of governance and politics in India. In order to understand the Mughals, the first thing that we have to understand is that they were foreigners with no major indigenous presence in India. Initially, they came with an Uzbek and Central Asian nucleus, but this Central Asian nucleus, as far as the army's manpower was concerned, the real fighting core manpower, was removed during Akbar's time, when Akbar, under the influence of his Persian advisors, purged the Uzbeks, and that was the end of the story. Now, the Mughal system was not based on religion or jihad or any such thing, which now in the modern India many extremist parties are trying to propagate. They were against anyone regardless of religion, race or ethnicity as far as the power politics was concerned. Number one. The first major challenge to the Mughals, if you study, did not come from any non-Muslim group, but from the Pashtuns, who actually removed them from power and forced them to seek sanctuary in Persia. This is the most important and crucial part of Mughal history. It was at this time that Humayun and his successors decided that in order to remain secure in power, they could not trust a major Muslim group like Pashtuns, like in the case of Sher Shah Suri and his family. The major threat came from the Pashtuns, who had a sizable presence in the Indian Pak subcontinent. So the unwritten Mughal deduction, which you don't find in any books, was that they decided to rely on a core Persian Shia Muslim minority with the ulterior idea that this Shia leadership could not really gather any major ethnic group based on the sectarian divergence against the Mughals. So you find the Persians major part of the Mughal nobility. And this continued even under Aurangzeb, who was regarded as anti-Shia and so many other labels. It's a long discussion. But the Shia ascendancy, as far as the Mughal generals and the nobility was concerned, carried on even in Aurangzeb's time. And now what do you see? Because the Mughal commanders were selected based on the Machiavellian grounds, what do you see? Zulfiqar Khan, a Shia, he readily dealt with Marathas, even, switched allegiance when it suited him. Sayyid brothers, you see, readily bringing the Marathas, because they could not really trust the Muslim soldiers, and then using the tactics of divide and rule. And even within Shias, such betrayals that The major reason for the downfall of Sayyid brothers was not a Sunni Muslim, but his own Shia compatriots, the family of Sadat Ali Khan of Awadh, the Awadh Shias, again Persians imported by Mughals, were the main reason why the Sayyid brothers, also Shias, were totally destroyed and erased from the practical history of Mughals. Religion was never the important part of this whole drama of Machiavellian intrigues and switching sides. Like a Punjabi, he readily brought the Marathas in 1756 to occupy Punjab just because his main enemy were the Afghans, the Abdalis, the Duranis. So, religion was not the central part of the whole affair. And the policy of divide and rule continued. And even the theory that Aurangzeb was anti-Hindu is false. Because recent researchers have proved that Aurangzeb was heavily ennobling the Marathas, and the Marathas formed a very large part of the Mughal nobility under Aurangzeb. So this too is also false. Very strange things emerge. Why the Marathas clashed with Aurangzeb? This also has got a very strange mix of sectarian and power political background. This happened because Aurangzeb overran the Shia kingdoms in the south of India, and the Marathas were the main soldiers and the main knights of the southern Shia kingdoms. And that is how the Marathas came into clash with the Mughals. Again, very interesting things we see, like in Punjab, the counter-insurgency tactics that the Mughals followed against the Sikhs were totally based on genocide and give no quarter. So the Mughal-Sikh relation was much more bitter than the Maratha-Mughal relationship. So when the Sikhs conquered Punjab, the Badshahi Masjid was a stable, horse stable and a magazine, and so many other mosques were like that, and washed with urines and all that. But if you see the Maratha area, where the Marathas were in control in India, while the Mughal emperor was the rubber stamp king, the Maratha-Mughal relationship was much more civilized and mutually respecting each other. The Marathas, if you study them, and the Mughals, they had a working relationship and they respected each other, and the Marathas did not desecrate the mosques, in the Maratha ruled areas. They were more refined than the Sikhs, but the Sikhs had a reason because the Mughals had butchered the Sikhs like, worse than animals during the Sikh insurgency, which lasted in Punjab for almost 90 years or 100 years. So they had a different relationship. The sum total is that all along, the various relationships were based on the power play, the political dynamics, not on religion or ethnicity. Like the Mughals were all along in conflict with the Pashtuns. They had a problem all along. And the same situation we see in Pakistan now in Fatah or during the British time or Sikh time. The same tribal expeditions were continuing. And now, it's very fashionable to say that the Fatah, TTP are being sponsored by the RAW and so many other people. But there was no RAW in Mughal times when the Mughals were fighting against Pashtuns or in Sikh times. So these things have a deep background and have to be studied in detail And this short podcast, I'm just recording for the sake of our respected members of the group. God bless all.